Now, a lot of things we read on social media, a lot of people use the term buy the dip. And by buying the dip, I mean a strategy of when a player's dropping, buy the dip and then rise back up to their original price. Now, I wanted to do this video because, you know, on Football Index market, I mean, it applies to every trading market, but on the Football Index market, this strategy has actually seen me realise just as many losses as I have wins. And I've had to define this strategy to a point where, you know, I'm winning more than I'm losing. And by doing that, the most important part isn't actually buying a dip. It's the price recovery. Why will the player recover in price? So I'm going to show you a few examples where you can obviously, hopefully take it away. And when you buy the dip in the future, you can use the same strategy and hopefully win more than you lose. So the first one I want to look at is Messi. Obviously, Messi, Barcelona went out of the Champions League last week and there was a massive sell-off. And a lot of people did buy the dip. Now, 24 hours after that price, he was £10.28. So the high 20s, he drops 53p, 5% of his price. So he's around £10.28, £10.29. Now, if we look at his price now, he's actually sitting at £10.1. So we can see, you know, this is a fantastic dip here. Obviously not if you was on here, but it's a great dip for us to start with. Now, he did linger and stay around the £10.28 mark for, you know, at least 24 to 48 hours. So if you did jump on thinking, okay, this is the bottom, then see now you've dropped another 30p. You need to look at two things. What is their short-term price recovery? Have they got one? And then what is their long-term price recovery? So with Messi, the obvious price recovery is, I mean, we all know Messi's one of the best for performance buzz. He had a bit of a dip around the beginning of the year, but, you know, recently he's been scoring well again. And also his media buzz is very good. So short-term, in the Spanish league, you know, they still have a month left. They don't finish till May the 20th. So there's still a lot of matches where Messi could, you know, win performance buzz. And Barcelona are likely to win the league, so they're going to want to get it done pretty soon, I should think. And when he usually does perform, a lot of media follows. So there is still that chance of a short-term price recovery if he performs in the next game. And with Messi, there's always that opportunity. And then obviously we had the big one. We had the World Cup. Argentina, maybe not the favourites, but I would say probably one of the top 5 teams going. And obviously they do have Messi, so they've always got a chance. So we've got a short-term price recovery chance with the buzz. There's still 4 weeks to play for. And obviously the World Cup with Argentina. So buying a dip, you can see that there is certain stages that you can recover on. You know, no matter if you got on a dip 24 or 48 hours later when you thought the price had stagnated, to even now. We'll look at another one, and we'll look at Ruben Neves, the Wolves player. Now, he scored a fantastic goal to give Wolves a win. I think that basically, you know, secured their place in the Premier League. So he will be next season eligible for performance buzz, whether it's with Wolves or whether he goes to another club. Next year, he will be eligible for performance buzz. Now, let's say he's staying with Wolves. We've seen that his price can reach, you know, £2.32. That was what his price peaked at when he performs. And, you know, he's a good player. So it's very likely that he could outperform his team next year. And he could reach that price again. This year, obviously, he weren't eligible for performance buzz. Next year, he will be. So that will affect the market. So if you buy the dip here, you can be confident that at some stage next season, if not in the summer, he will recover. He's a good player, and there is a lot of talk that maybe Wolves won't be able to hang on to him and a bigger Premier League team will come in. You know, with Premier League comes a lot of attention, which means media as well. So it's not just performance buzz that could make his value higher. Okay, so with Neves, there's another one that you could look at and say, well, I'm going to buy the dip, and here is his price recovery. Now, the next one I'm going to show you is Joe Willock, who I feel is probably not the best person to buy the dip. Now, if we can see here, he rose, I think, 23p, I believe, leading up to the game against Newcastle. and he was in the starting lineup for the first time in Premier League game, I believe. He started in Europa League and he started in the Carling Cup, but this was his first Premier League start. Now, he didn't really have a great game, very average, took off around the 60th minute, and straight away he dropped 10p, and then another 3p later on. So would it be a good idea to buy Joe Willock on the dip? For me, you've got to take into account some things. Arsenal, obviously, they're not really playing for the Premier League this year. That's obvious, especially now. You know, now they're not really playing for it. They've got their eyes on the Europa League. So it's possible he could play again, but seriously, after Arsenal lost, 6th place even, you know, he's under threat to Burnley. After Arsenal lost, and he didn't really put in a great performance, it really is 50-50 whether he starts again. So for you to put your money in, buy the dip for a player that's only 50-50, your money's going to work better for you elsewhere, because that's just it's a 50-50 chance that his price won't recover and your money will just lay there stagnant and drop even further. So for me, with someone like this, instead of buying the dip, it might be better just to stay on top of the team sheet news next time Arsenal play. And if he is in the starting lineup and you find out early enough, you can jump on and your money will probably work better for you then as a short-term return on investment. So 3 examples there. Buying the dip it is a reliable strategy, but the most important thing with it is to look at the player's price recovery potential. If there is none, then there's no point buying the dip, because the player will likely even fall further or just stagnate, and then your money's tied up and you have to take a loss anyway. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you disagree, again, please let me know in the comments. If you've had any good experiences with buying the dip, bad experiences with buying the dip, just let me know. In my experience, the amount of data that I've got, it really was a 50-50 with this strategy till I refined it. And really, the only thing that will make you buy the dip now is if there's a price recovery, which makes the player value. All right, so thanks for listening, and I will see you again in the next video.